This Megan girl, like, what's her problem?
So Loft. Mwah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello. If you are returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. So today we're just getting right back into the thick of it, and we're getting into part 2 of my Gorlworld 2025 history lesson recap, whatever you want to call it. So I'm not going to keep you waiting any longer. Let's just get into it. But before we get into the rest of the drama that Gorlworld in 2025 brought us, let's take a second to relax. Let's imagine getting into a warm, cozy bed and drifting off into a peaceful slumber. The kind of slumber that today's video sponsor Helix Sleep can help you achieve. As always, I am so excited to be working with Helix again on my channel. I have been sleeping on some kind of Helix mattress for the last like 7 years, and I have loved it the entire time. And so when they reached out to me to work with me on my channel, I was so excited because they were going to send me a new mattress. So I went online and I took their online quiz, and I got matched with the Helix Midnight Luxe mattress. And I have been sleeping on this thing since August, and it is still as comfy as ever. And when I wake up in the morning, I genuinely feel rested. And as a chronically fatigued girly, that is a very big deal. Got shipped directly to my door, and setup, as always, was super easy. And I love this mattress, and I cannot recommend it enough. And don't just take my word for it, because Helix has been reviewed against hundreds of competitors and always wins. The Helix Midnight Luxe, my mattress, has been ranked as the best overall mattress according to both Forbes and Wired. But if you are not in the market for a completely new mattress, Helix also offers a variety of really great mattress topper options. And mattress toppers are great because they can help you upgrade just your current setup. They can also help increase the lifespan of an older mattress. And most importantly, they can really just help you customize your sleeping experience to your own unique needs. My Midnight Luxe mattress has the Glaciotex cooling topper on it, which has been really great for me as someone who runs just naturally really warm. I don't wake up sweaty, and if I'm already warm when I'm getting into bed, it really helps cool me down. And it has truly been like a game changer for me, honestly. If you want to give Helix a whirl for yourself, be sure to use the link down below in my description, or go to helixsleep.com/MeganAnne. That is helixsleep.com/MEGANANNE, because they are giving my viewers an exclusive President's Day sale that you can go shop and get 27% off site-wide. Thank you so much to Helix for sponsoring today's video, and as always, thank you so much to you guys for continuing to interact with my content so that brands like Helix want to keep working with me, because it truly helps me more than I'll ever be able to describe to you. And yeah, let's just wrap this up, baby. So where we left off last time was Tommy had come out, potentially accidentally, I'm not too sure on that, accusing Amberlynn of purposely letting Rarity out when she was in Wisconsin to try and buy more time in Wisconsin because Emily wanted her to leave and they were going to break up. After that all came out, then Amberlynn also announced on her live stream that she had got a new cat named Romeo. And yeah, so after all of that happened, then Emily posted a cryptic post to her Instagram saying, "With how hot it is lately, it's wild to think snowflakes will be back before we know it." And with the mention of snowflakes, a lot of people put 2 and 2 together and speculated that this was Emily saying that she was going to be doing a video with Mr. Snowflake. And then after Emily posted this to her Instagram, Mr. Snowflake posted to his community tab and said, "Update. Been speaking to Emily, obviously. Been a very hard listen. Well, over text, but you know what I mean. We spoke about the emotional and physical abuse from Amber. We discussed Rarity. She sent over screenshots of messages Amber sent to her on the day Rarity went missing. Amber, I think you better make a quick video and sort your Rarity missing story out. We discussed the breakup and post-breakup. I'll make a simple video as soon as I get a chance and get the video up as fast as possible. I'll keep you all updated. Cheers, everyone." So Amber saw this and obviously crashed out again. Apparently went live at like 3 a.m. And this live was titled, we have been in a relationship this entire time.
And then I get another text. I have video proof of you being terrible to me, of me reacting to your betrayal, me unmedicated with BPD. Correct. Stop texting me. Like, how much longer can I stay silent? And the whole time I'm sitting here thinking how I don't want to hurt Tommy. I literally hate even referring to her as Tommy because we all know, but we haven't been together this whole time. This whole time.
Amberlynn in this live stream basically just immediately starts unloading about all of her grievances and her relationship with Emily. Amberlynn talks about how Tommy had been talking about Amberlynn behind her back in comments on things, on Reddit, private messages. She said that there was one instance where someone, I think on Reddit, was talking about how they think Amberlynn would look if she lost the weight. And Tommy responded saying she would probably look like melting ice cream. And then she also said that Tommy referred to her as Pocahontas.
And I have seen the things that she has said to me, I mean, about me, whether that be in comments, whether that be in private messages. She had a whole Reddit where she made fun of my body. Someone on Reddit literally said, how do you guys think Amberlynn would be when she loses all the weight? My girlfriend replied, she'd probably look like melting ice cream or a melted candle. My girlfriend behind my back was calling me Pocahontas.
So, yeah. And she says that when she was in Wisconsin with Tommy that she was the most miserable that she has ever been. And she also says that her mom was begging her to come back to Oklahoma this whole time. Amberlynn talks about the verbal abuse that she allegedly experienced from Tommy.
But something about this last time, like, genuinely broke me. I don't remember what it was, but like, we had a normal relationship argument, which happens. Like, you express to your partner how you feel. Whenever I would express how I feel, she would just go absolutely insane on me. I would try to process in my brain that, like, that's her defense mechanism. But it was like 2 days ago, I just calmly expressed to her, like, how I felt about something. It's like every single time we get in an argument, she goes online and says something awful to me. And I just got a text from her saying, I'm going to release the video then to prove how you are. I'm literally half naked in that video, so please don't. Can't wait to see how evil you were when you're exposed. Okay. I mean, I turned evil due to betrayal. Yes, I did. And that's like one of the only times. So good for me. I wasn't a raging the whole time, even though that's what I was called. Emily said it to your face or in text. Which part? Both, though, if you're talking about my favorite was when she told me she wants to knock my teeth down my throat. That was my favorite. While we were looking for Rarity in the truck. That one was to my face, so you wouldn't be able to see that in text, but
Amberlynn also talks about how she saw Tommy talking to other girls while they were together, and how Emily was talking to other girls and talking bad about Amberlynn to these other girls. And just so you know, in this next clip, when she says Rarity night, that means the night that Rarity went missing.
Truth about Rarity, only the people closest to me know, and only Emily knows. The truth is, we're sitting in Emily's truck. I would sit in the passenger seat, and Emily would sit in the driving seat, and she would smoke cigarettes. She does not smoke in her house. So we would sit there for hours. So since we're both sitting on our phones in her truck, I saw her talking to this girl named Andrea. Flashback 2 weeks prior, I saw her talking to Andrea. They were talking badly about me. And I was like, who's Andrea? She tells me it's a girl from work. Okay. Then it was a week ago. I mean, at the time we're sitting in that truck, I'm talking about Rarity night, okay? I see Andrea again. And I was like, why do you keep like talking badly, being suspicious with this Andrea girl? Oh, just this girl from work. And I was like, well, can you stop talking badly about me? Blah, 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 blah. I find out that night that this is a hater, someone that genuinely hates me more than anything in this world, that Emily became friends with. And they would just sit there and talk bad while I'm literally sleeping next to her in her fucking bed, bro. So I told her, I was like, please stop talking to her because that thing hurts. Like, that genuinely hurts me. I would never do that to you, ever. So I believe that she would never talk to her again.
And Amberlynn goes on to say that after she got Emily's phone to look through to see who she was talking to, she also went and could see like the apps that Emily had visited recently. And she found Emily's Tumblr, which, to put it mildly, Emily was looking at BBW content.
And I noticed that she was on Tumblr. It was like the most random thing in the world because, like, me and her were like very open. I don't want to say what I saw. Okay, just know that what I saw her looking at on Tumblr literally broke me. So I instantly went to her Tumblr app, bam, in my face. Okay, I don't want to go into detail. Genuinely, I don't. I noticed that there was this app, not an app, a website. Just know that I saw things and read things and seen things that literally broke me and destroyed me. Okay, like, look at me. I look like a freak.
And also a side note, it seems like Emily is still texting Amber during this whole live stream where she's freaking out.
She messaged me and said, "You need to stop this immediately." Then why did you do what you did?
And she starts telling the story of the night that Rarity went missing.
We get in a big fight. I'm telling you, it was off the chain. That I think it was like 5 a.m. or something. He ended up leaving her home through the kitchen door, which is the sliding glass door. She left. She likes to say that you guys see me. I'm over 500 pounds. I walk very slow. This, I don't want to share it, is Amber subconscious telling her not to lie. No, actually, it's Amber subconscious still being a decent human. And also, it's embarrassing for me. So, you, Rachel, sit on and spin. She leaves through the glass door, leaves the door open. I did not notice because I did not go near the door. I was sitting at the kitchen table waiting for her to come home. And that's when I noticed the cold breeze. Emily left the fucking door open. And she booked it so fast she didn't even close the door. It was just a lot. In my brain, I was thinking, there's no way Birdie got out. We're good. But it was the next day when I was like, something really just does not seem right. I haven't seen Rarity all day.
And there's also a point in this live where she tries like defending herself by saying she's never actually like hit anybody she's been in a relationship with. Then someone in the chat says that it's probably only because she wasn't like physically able to do that. And Amberlynn tries to like prove that she's not a physically violent person by saying she could still throw something at someone.
I have never hit Emily. I never hit Beck. I never hit who else have I been in a relationship with? Destiny, never hit Crystal. The list can go on and on. If you could, you would. Your body doesn't allow. Uh-huh. You're saying if I could hit someone, I would? I could throw this at someone's head. I could take this and throw it. Get over it. I'm not physically point blank period.
She also mentions in this video, and she alleges that Tommy kicked her in the belly.
So I was following her also into the bathroom. I have a bad habit of like following, saying, "Don't leave the room. We need to talk about this." Like that's a very bad part of me that I will say, and I'm 100% accountable in that. Very bad of me. So when I went to go walk into the bathroom, she kicked me. She's tall. She's taller than I am. She's like 5'7". She kicks me really hard in my stomach. Really hard. That is the only time that something like physical like that happened. And it was like right in my hernia, so that like really scared me. I will say that.
She also tells this story about Emily falling and her trying to help her up. And I'm including this now because it's relevant later.
Her room, like I'm not gonna lie, we both like have ADHD and ADHD piles. So her room would get like, she would have her pile of dirty clothes, and she also had a rug and like a huge dog bed, and then I had Twinkie's dog bed, so it was a very crowded place. I tripped over her rug. I landed into her. She fell on the ground. Like as that's happening, I'm trying to get her. Like as she's falling, I go to grab her off the ground. It didn't work out very well. She still landed on the floor. And then she started like hysterically, "How come you pushed me?" I'm like, what is actually happening?
But then she starts talking about Emily's cat Princess and alleges that Emily has tried to lose her or let her out on multiple occasions.
But it's crazy because she has this cat named Princess, which she keeps trying to throw out, by the way, on the streets, and I keep telling her not to. She really wants to fuck around. We can fuck around and find out. Something done. She has a cat that pees all over downstairs, on the carpet, on the chair, on the couch, on the clothes, on the this, on the that.
And then these were the last sentiments of initial crash out live stream from Amber.
One last thing to say to Emily. Jesus, take the wheel. All I wanted to do was love you. You only ever made me feel like hated. I wish things could have been different. Like I wish you wouldn't have hurt me in the ways that you did. I wish you wouldn't have lied, betrayed over and over, hid things from me, said awful things to me.
And like I said in the last part, piecing all of this stuff together, especially the live streams when everything's been wiped from Amber's channel because she got demonetized, is really hard. And I was having to go like back and forth between various like commentary channels, archive channels, whatever, and like I kind of had to put together a timeline based on whatever outfit that Amberlynn was wearing in each live stream. And so I apologize if this gets a little bit out of order, but I still feel like the sentiments all still stand, so I think it should be fine. But I think it was in between Amberlynn's initial live stream freaking out, and then Mr. Snowflake posting his video with the text from Emily, that Emily posted this in response to what Amberlynn had said in this initial freak out live stream. She says, Amberlynn's latest accusations and her attempt at damage control are genuinely unhinged. And for those of you who are supporting her and believing her, congratulations, you were just manipulated by Amberlynn Reed. Join the club. If she had nothing to hide, why is she already rushing to clarify specific things I haven't even spoken about yet? How does she already know what situations I'm talking about with Snowflake if there wasn't anything she should be held accountable for? She knows exactly what I'm going to say because she knows exactly what really happened. I'll be the first to admit I've done some awful things during our relationship. I'm not here to paint myself as perfect, but I do hold pride in the fact that I'm not going to say anything that's not true. The fact that she's spinning the narrative before I've even spoken should tell you everything you need to know. And I believe that it was also at this time that Amberlynn went live again and doubled down on the fact that Emily had kicked her, and she actually says that Emily had kicked her twice.
Did you tell Mama Lynn Emily kicked you? Yeah. And I remembered she's actually kicked me twice. I forgot about the second time. I was sitting on the couch one time, again, during one of our arguments, and she wanted me to leave and she wanted me to stop crying. And she was like laying on the couch and I was like sitting like on the end of it. She literally kicked me off the couch and I landed on the floor and I had to I had to have her help me get up.
So then after this, Emily's Mr. Snowflake video came out, and this video is basically just Mr. Snowflake reading the text messages that he and Emily exchanged about Emily's experiences dating Amberlynn.
Hi Emily, hope all is well. What made you want to come out now and discuss your time with Amber? Honestly, I was content staying silent for a long time, but I'm tired of watching her dodge any real accountability. She creates her own reality and then expects everyone to play along. The sad part is most people do because they're either scared of her or don't want to deal with the drama. But I hit a point where I just couldn't sit back and watch her keep rewriting the truth.
Emily talks about how in the initial stages of her and Amberlynn talking, that she was really upfront with Amberlynn, that she was still grieving the loss of her fiance, which again, just a friendly reminder here because I brought it up in the last part, that Emily is a confirmed feeder. Some may even say a feeder, and that Emily's late fiance passed away due to complications with pneumonia and was nearing, if not already at 1,000 pounds by the time she passed away. So, in my opinion, just going into this, Tommy sucks, okay? And I always make this clarification when I've talked about Amberlynn and Tommy in the past, and I still stand by that. In February of 2026, knowing what we know now too, and stuff that I'm not even going to talk about in this video, that'll be in the next one, where I talk about Amberlynn after she got demonetized and stuff like that. I don't like either Amberlynn or Tommy. I will say Emily's story about the start of their relationship really mimics a lot of what Beck has said, what Destiny has said, and what Casey has said. And could this be that Amberlynn just has a pattern? Absolutely, okay? Emily had like a whole archive of Amberlynn's exes coming out and telling these stories and how and she could see how they were all the same. So it's like not to say that Emily could have just said this to bolster her stories, right? And I'm not saying that to defend Amberlynn either. Like I said, I think they both suck. But I think it's just worth noting here that Emily, in theory, would have had a lot of content to go off of to create a more believable story.
For a little while, it felt good. We actually had fun together. We laughed, joked around, and it was chill. I genuinely enjoyed spending time with her before she started showing me who she really is. I guess it was a typical scenario of love bombing. After everything I had been through, it was just nice to feel wanted and not so alone anymore. And I say, was it still nice when she came to stay with you? How long was she meant to stay for? Emily says, there were a few little red flags early on, like how Amber would get upset if I didn't FaceTime her for hours every single day. Or if I was busy at work and didn't have time to message her. She would get irritated if I checked my phone or responded to messages that weren't about her or focused on her. That visit also happened right after she posted who I was, and the doxing stuff that followed, so tensions were high, so I kind of brushed it off at the time, thinking it was just stress. But everything really started to change when Amber came to visit me. She was originally only supposed to stay for a week or two, tops. It wasn't going to be some extended thing. We were planning on probably around 2 weeks, because that's when I'd be off work and able to take her home. But by day 2 of her being at my house, things already started to shift. It was weird how high-strung she was that early on. Day 2. I don't know what shifted, or it was the change in environment, but she just acted off. She really didn't like that I had a life outside of her. I mean, I work 12-hour shifts. I have a family, friends, pets, a house to take care of. I have responsibilities, but anything that wasn't about her felt like an inconvenience to her, and she made that very clear. Well, by day 2, Jesus. I'd get home from a 12-hour shift completely exhausted from a stressful job, and she'd get upset if I wanted to go straight to bed. She'd say things like, "Oh, you're not going to hang out with me," or ask me to take her to the casino or go shopping. And if I said no, she'd get upset and compare it to her working on vlogs all day, saying she still had the energy to do things, so I should too. Amber expected me to be constantly available. If I didn't text or call during my breaks, I'm sure we've done this with Destiny, or if I wasn't giving her attention constantly, she'd get upset or start a fight. I told her in the beginning that I need to be able to have alone time because that is how I decompress from stress. We've had arguments about that before. She visited too, because she didn't like that. She would always accuse me of not loving her and say how terrible of a girlfriend I was. She wanted me to call out of work anytime she was having a crisis, or just felt like she wanted me to stay home.
Emily talks about how when they would get into arguments that Amberlynn just would not let anything go. And she said that she would gaslight and deflect. And she said that it was typical narcissistic behavior. Emily said it got to the point where she would go into the other room to sleep and Amberlynn would follow her into that room and she would stand over the bed. Emily also said that Amber would use her BPD as an excuse for everything, which I personally think is very believable.
How did I know that? She 100% used your BPD. Her BPD as an excuse. That's what frustrating me the most. Anytime she'd have one of her tantrums, she wouldn't take any accountability and say it's because she has BPD. And she'd be like, "I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just trying to tell you how I feel." When she would literally scream at me about something, like taking 4 minutes longer than I said I would. I told her she can't use that as an excuse if she refuses to do anything to help herself to get better. She made a lot of false promises of getting into therapy. She told me in so many different occasions that she was signed up and she never went.
And Mr. Snowflake asked for more details on how Amberlynn's tantrums would get. Emily just explained it this way.
The tantrums slowly escalated each time. It started with just her shouting at me, to escalating to her slamming doors and punching walls. Anytime I tried to leave the room, she would block doorways. She was also really jealous. Anytime I talked about Colleen, I wasn't allowed to share memories or say anything about it really anymore, or she would end up getting really upset and pissed off at me for the rest of the day. It was really hard, but the worst of the tantrums was actually the night before Rarity went missing. She saw me scrolling through my phone and there was women on my Instagram feed. She flipped out and said I was micro-cheating.
I got really fucking upset. Obviously, anyone, even mentally well people would have been pissed, would have been so fucking hurt. Probably marriages would have been divorced, that type of deal, okay? So we get in a big fight, duh.
The argument escalated really fast. That was the first time she got physical with me. She threw things at me. I was going to leave the room. She then grabbed my arm and dug her nails into my arm to the point of drawing blood.
All I remember is she got mad and she grabbed my arm. Dug her nails into my arm.
I tried pushing past her to get through the doorway and she pushed back into me and actually falling on top of me. Jesus, she says, at that point I was livid. I told her to go back to Oklahoma and then I was absolutely done. And this is the night before Rarity, right? Whew, it just pissed her off more. She then grabbed a picture of me and Colleen and held it up and threatened to break it. She knew that it was something that would hurt me more than anything she could do physically to me. Like the lowest she could go, she let her apologise and then tried begging for me back, saying that it was her BPD. There it is, At first she denied that she did any of those things, which that sucked too.
And after describing what led to the tantrum before Rarity got let out, Tommy explains her side of the story of the night that Rarity went missing.
After work, I didn't want to go back home. I was exhausted, drained, and didn't want to deal with her crap all over again. She had been blowing my phone up all day trying to apologise and see if I would change my mind about having her go back home. Okay. After work, I went for a walk to decompress. She was not happy about that and was blowing my phone up asking me to come home. It was about 2 hours after my shift that I got a text from her saying that she couldn't find Rarity. She said she hadn't seen her all day but was just telling me this now. At that point I came home right away. I figured she was just somewhere in the house and she was just saying that to try to get me to come home. But after I searched the entire house while Amber watched, she wasn't anywhere to be found. At that point I moved the search outside. I was exhausted but searched all hours of the night looking for her. I really thought I would find her that night, but it was no luck. Amberlynn's one job was to call the shelter to make a report. But when I called the shelter after they found a cat that was deceased, that kind of matched Rarity's description, it ended up not being her, the shelter told me no formal report was ever filed. The only info they had was the report from the Lost Pet database that I submitted. So at that point I filed the formal report with the shelter with her description. But they could call if they had anybody turn her in. Hours upon hours driving around looking for her, walking through fields and in between houses around my house through the snow. I think that's what everyone thought, yeah. Amberlynn would go in the drives with me, but obviously didn't do the walking around part. Again, I think everybody, said that. I would get so pissed when we were driving because she would have her head buried in her phone playing a stupid Farmville type game, instead of looking out the damn window to find her cat. I can't say 100% that she purposely let her out, but given the circumstances, the situation doesn't look good. No, it does not. If it was a ploy to get her to be able to stay in Wisconsin longer, then I guess it definitely worked.
It was a lengthy stay that became lengthier because we loved being around each other, which then became lengthier once Rarity went missing. I was not going to leave her here.
Emily then sends Mr. Snowflake screenshots between her and Amberlynn from the night that Rarity went missing, and he reads them out here.
These are the texts between Amber and Emily. Amber says, "So am I leaving? Wait, I read that wrong. I also have moments where I snap at you. I haven't been able to find Rarity all day." What time is this at? 10:06. "I need help finding her, please. I've been calling her name and looking everywhere all day." Emily says, "I'm afraid to come home, to be honest." Amber says, "I didn't go to the back porch." Amber says, "I didn't go to the back porch." Amber made a whole demonstration video at the back porch explaining what had happened, but here she's telling Emily, "I didn't go to the back porch. Don't be afraid, I'm not going to cause you any stress. You can come home and go into the bedroom. I'll stay in the living room till you wake up for work." 10:26 p.m. If you didn't hurt me on purpose, why would you regret it? Get real. I don't want you to touch me. Amber says, "I regret anything I've done that has hurt you. I understand. Oh my god, Princess is out." Emily's cat. "Princess is out. She just went up the stairs into the bedroom." I was so confused for a minute. "Emily, can I ask you something?" "What?" "Can I have another chance?" "No." "So you want me to pack my bags and leave?" "Yes." "Check Snap, please." I've been abused before, and I was dumb to have stayed with her because look what it led to. And Amber says, "I would never do that." I sent a whole video. It's taking forever to send.
And just for those of you that don't know, after Amberlynn and Tommy broke up while she was in Wisconsin, Emily then drove her back to Oklahoma, which was a 19-hour drive. And in these texts, Emily goes over what that experience was like.
She couldn't keep up her normal behaviour for too long before her true self came out again, and we started arguing all the time. I finally got to the point where I couldn't take it anymore and told her she's going back home. I drove her back home to Oklahoma myself instead of waiting for her mom to come do it. I don't know why she was insistent on making it seem like it was her decision. Oh, it was 19 hours. I drove 19 hours straight through and flew home the next day. It took that long because of all the stops she had to take. Oh god, yeah. That was the longest drive of my life, figuratively and literally. Within the first hour of the drive, she was screaming at me so much that Twinkie freaked out and jumped under my feet on the driver's side floor. I was driving on the highway and I had to pull over because she won't come out. I don't even remember what she was mad at me about. I think it was a comment over me getting to choose the music on the radio since I was driving that long and she wanted to choose to listen to. After she was back home, she tried ringing me back in, saying she was going to therapy and actively working on it, and maybe the distance would be good to help us eventually be able to be together again without the fighting. We had a lot of on again, off again stuff. I think we all knew that as well, yeah. Every time I tried to cut things off after things were getting bad again, she'd always have some sort of health scare to bait me back in.
And after telling this story, Emily also talks about how she feels bad for Twinkie because Twinkie is basically stuck inside 24/7. And I want to say here too, at the end of this, she makes a point to say that she watched Destiny and Beck's collab where they told their individual experiences being in relationships with Amberlynn. And she pointed out that she was shocked to see the similarities.
Watched that Beck and Destiny collab, I was shocked at the similarities. Yeah, it's the same MO, isn't it? Unless they're not giving all the details. I feel like she's gotten worse since then, not better. Maybe she was just rough on me because I didn't put up with her crap or fall for her manipulation.
And that's not totally everything that Tommy covered in this, but I just wanted to talk about the relevant things that had to do with where we left off in the last part. Because then Amberlynn posts a response to this interview, and it was like very quickly after this went up, she went live and responded to it. And since we just went over like all the points that Tommy made in this interview, I'm not going to replay those over again. I'm just going to put some clips in here of Amberlynn responding to various things that Emily said, and just so you can get the vibes, okay?
8 months of the time that we were in a relationship, I know you're watching, hi. You were literally online publicly humiliating me and hurting me while we were in a relationship. You were doing it anonymously, but also with your name. So hardcore that people were actually truly believing we weren't together. And I had to keep my mouth shut. Why? Because one, I literally loved you. I finally said, this is my last straw. You're threatening me? Oh. Life would be so much easier if you were just honest. Guess what? I am being honest. And that's what makes this easy for me. Thank you. Emily's response. Honestly, I was content staying silent for a long time, but you weren't. You weren't silent. What? I was silent. That was me. That was me. But I'm tired of watching her dodge any real accountability. You are literally the queen of dodging accountability. For you to say sorry, random fact, Emily does not know that word. She creates her own reality and expects everyone to play along. Are we describing you right now? The sad part is most people do because they're either scared of her and don't want to deal with the drama. But I hit a point where I just couldn't sit back and watch her keep rewriting the truth. You are not afraid of me. How many times have I said that I'm afraid of you? You are not afraid of me because you've gotten public behind my... Amberlynn, calm down. I'm about to have a BPD meltdown here on live. Behind my back, you have said awful things about me. You've done it publicly knowing that I would see it. If you were afraid of me, you would have never done those things. Not only that, if you were afraid of me, you would have never verbally... I've said that word so many times. This is not going to be monetized. Like, you wouldn't have verbally me repeatedly to my face, in text, in Messenger, in this. You're not afraid of me. There's nothing to be afraid of. That's just easy for you to say to look like the victim. Yes, you could be afraid of a BPD meltdown because those can be kind of hecticana. Not gonna lie about it. Snowflake replied, well, I'm glad you decided to speak up so I can get the money from it. So I guess we start at the beginning. I'm guessing everything was fine at the start of the relationship, or was there any little red flags? Well, there was red flags for me, but you know what? I was so blinded by love bombing that I just like, red flags? What? They're in heart shapes though. And I also see red flags in the shade of pink. Let's see. Oh, we have a long. I stayed the same throughout our whole relationship. The fact that you can sit there and say that the roller coaster of our relationship that we were in was due to my love bombing and not your unwavering love. That is something that you told me, that I had unwavering love. But you, every day, I did not know what Emily I was going to wake up to. Was it the one that loved me? Was it the one that hated me? Was it the one that just wanted my belly? I kissed your ass because I was scared of you. Finally, when my BPD meltdowns would snap, that's when my fear was gone because I was so heightened and so scared. My fight or flight was fight. The fact that you're turning this around and rewriting this whole thing to make you seem like a victim because my ex Beck might have been, you know exactly what you're doing. Her reply, there were little red flags early on. Like Amber would get upset if I didn't FaceTime her for hours every single day, or if I was busy at work and she didn't have time to message her. The FaceTime her for hours every single day. That's true. And I think it's because that is the way that she set. So her and Colleen would be on FaceTime for hours and hours a day. That is how mine and Emily's relationship started. And it was because she wanted that. We were on FaceTime for hours and hours a day. That is what I got used to. And having BPD, I have also very bad anxious attachment. Thankfully, I just want to say I'm very much far gone from that area. I don't have that like anxious attachment feeling anymore. I will admit that that's definitely how it was because that's, you know, the pattern that we created together. And when I noticed, you know, sometimes she didn't want to do that, my brain, because it's not wired the same as everyone else's, my brain would tell me, she hates me. What did I do wrong? I'm exhausted trying to juggle everything in my life on top of her constantly being mad at me. You weren't really juggling anything because you didn't really do much of anything. We'd get into arguments and she just wouldn't let anything go. That is literally you to a T. I have never been more gaslit and manipulated in my life. I have never felt the way that you made me feel in my life. The fact that you made me feel the way that my dad made my mom feel is f***ing sick. The tantrum slowly escalated each time. I started with her just shouting at me to escalating to her slamming doors and punching walls. That never happened. I think I slammed a door one time because I was so fed up. Like the betrayal, the gaslighting, the stonewalling, the cruelty, the fat jokes. Anytime I tried leaving the room, she would block doorways. She was also really jealous. Anytime I talked about Colleen, I made it very clear that I'm very understanding of the whole Colleen situation. But when you would compare me to Colleen in fights, you began to turn that into a weapon. Colleen was no longer your late fiance, but a weapon to hurt your current girlfriend. That's not cool, dude. I wasn't allowed to share memories or say anything about it really anymore. She would end up getting really pissed. I wonder fucking why. Because she became a weapon just to hurt me.
I think the most important part of this reaction to me is Amberlynn's reaction to Emily's version of what happened the night that Rarity went missing.
First tantrum was actually the night that Rarity went missing. And why was I reacting that way? For the audience watching, let me remind you. Emily and I were sitting in her car. And she had lied to me for weeks about this woman she was speaking to. She said it was a coworker. Turns out it was a hater that she was friends with where she would talk shit about me. She would stare at me right in my fucking eyes. The woman that she loves and say, I'm not lying to you. She was on Tumblr looking at naked women bigger than me right after having sex with me. And the picture that is so engraved in my brain was this woman on an oxygen tank in a hospital bed. And then in that same moment, I find her on Phoebe, which is where the feeders go to do their thing. I click the messages. The day that we met in person, she messaged a girl saying how sexy she was. She messaged another masked lesbian feeder saying, wow, we're rare. Masked lesbian feeders. That's the day I found out the truth about everything. Well, not slightly everything, but most of it. And then you get mad and play victim because of my reaction. She saw me scrolling through my phone and there was this woman on my Instagram feed. She flipped out and said I was micro cheating. She fucking lied. She saw this woman on my Instagram feed. She won't even admit to the Tumblr. When I tell you my jaw is on the floor, can someone pick it up for me? 'Cause I'm too fat. Whew, that was the first time she got physical with me. She threw things at me. What did I throw at you? What did I throw at you? Actually, I didn't throw a thing at you, Emily. Oh, she replied. The water bottle that was on my dresser. Oh, I threw a water bottle on your dresser. Okay, let me go back to the text message from last night where you said that I did not throw it at you. You know when you picked up the water bottle to throw at me, all I did was pick it up. I didn't throw it at you. And then you said, so when you picked it up and raised it like you were gonna throw it, what was that? That is what you said right in there. So did I throw it or not? But how are you gonna sit here and lie? I'm like so actually shook right now. She then grabbed my arm and dug her nails into my arm to the point of drawing blood. I have a picture that she later deleted months later. All right, let me dumb this down for dummies. We're fighting. Like, not physically, sorry. The BPD tantrums coming out of me. Her room, it's cluttered. I end up tripping over the fucking rug. My body goes onto her. She falls. I grab her arm. While she's in her car, she takes a picture of her arm and she sends it to me. It shows nothing. 2 days later, we're now arguing about the argument that we had 2 days prior. Why are we arguing about that? Because Amberlynn's hurting. She ends up leaving the house again. That's what she does. She ends up sending me a picture of her arm with these nail marks that are like so like deep. I'm like, well, I'm literally on the phone with my mom bawling, and I'm sending my mom these screenshots. And I'm like, Mom, I think Emily just faked nail marks. Emily literally faked nail marks in a different shirt on a different day, took the picture as if it was the same day. And Emily then later deleted both of the things, but she didn't know that I took screenshots of it. She is trying to get a situation to look like something that it wasn't. Stop exaggerating. Say it like it is. Amberlynn had crazy tantrums. Say it like it fucking is. He responded to her, Jesus. Wow. Snowflake, you're so empathetic. You're so empathetic. I just saw a photo that makes me want to cry. Like, why does this have to happen? Why couldn't it just been a good relationship? So this is original photo, okay? And remember, there's gouges and blood, okay? Remember that part. This is her arm. This is her arm, okay? Keep in mind, she's wearing a maroon shirt. And then look at what she sends me a couple days later, because she forgot that she took that photo and sent it to me. In this photo, you're gonna see these weird marks that she created herself. Oh, Emily has marks all over her body. I don't want to go into medical from something medical. I'm not getting into it. She is wearing a completely different shirt, completely different day. Why is it blurry? She faked nail marks days later. Didn't you guys hear what she said in Snowflake's thing that she was bleeding? Oh my God, I hate that I'm doing this because I still love her, but it's like I'm tired of the lies. And right here it says, am I just imagining the gouges? Am I just imagining that? Am I just imagining that? Am I just imagining that? Yes, you are imagining that. Are you imagining the gouges out of your arm? The blood? Yes, you are. When was I muted? Did you guys hear me say that was from November 17th? Sorry, Gabrielle, I don't know how to pronounce it. And then Snowflake goes, oh God, then you went to work. Oh, he's so sympathetic. Such a sympathetic man. Oh. Stupid as we might have to do like a part 2 when I get home. I spent hours upon hours driving around looking for her, walking through fields and in between houses around my house and through the snow. Amberlynn would go on the drives with me, but obviously didn't do the walking around part. When it was snowing, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I can't walk in snow. I wear flats. I have lymphedema, but when it wasn't snowing, I was looking just as much as you. One time me and Emily got in such like a bad fight, and it was over something that she said to me. Obviously, like I'm a sensitive person, duh. So I'm gonna feel some type of way. So we were in an argument, and she literally would use looking for Rarity as like a control thing, as like power. In the same way that she would use Colleen as a weapon, she started to use Rarity as one. Left the door open. When you left that night, you betrayed me, and you could not handle the reaction that I had due to the pain that you caused me. And I took the blame. That is a conversation we had ad nauseum. So many times we talked about it, Emily, and you know that. I took the blame for you over and over and over. I lied about everything for you. Oh, our huge argument happened in the morning, 5 a.m., 4 a.m. Emily has a massive house. Her cat Daniel, Princess, Wasabi, Rarity, they all like to be in the basement. That's where they went to the bathroom. They had free roam of the whole place. And also her cat Wig. So normal pattern of the day is a lot of the time, like you didn't see a cat. You didn't see a cat because they were all hanging out doing their damn thing at the basement. And I noticed that normally the time when I would see her, I didn't see her. I've seen most of the cats today, but I haven't seen Rarity. So I went down to the basement and I didn't see her. I'm going to floor number 1, floor number 2, floor number 3, floor number 4. Why isn't she coming out? That is when I messaged Emily, because the pattern was then broke. The fact that like Emily is like turning this into, I don't know if she like let her out on purpose, when you know you let her out because you left the door open, is sick. Sick. Where's the next messages? Snowflake says, well, that doesn't look good. In his head, he's like, that looks great. That looks amazing. He's probably thinking in his head, I'm gonna get that money. And then he said, she made a couple videos crying about Rarity. Were you off screen watching this? And what did you think? Because her acting is shit. I've always thought I didn't buy she was genuinely sad. I was home for a few of them that she filmed. It was always after a fight between her and I. I think she wanted to take advantage of the tears and the crying and put it on camera. You're insane. And in this moment, I wish more than anything I could talk to your ex, Megan. Megan, if you are watching this or if someone knows Megan, have her talk to me. I would do anything to talk to you. Because at this point, I don't know. I would do anything just to speak to you personally. I will never share anything, but I need someone who understands because this is crazy. You are so unhinged that you have actually made me unhinged. There's a word for that. Someone actually recently told me about it. They messaged me on Instagram and I was like, what is that? It's where someone gets turned on by someone's pain. Is that what this is? The random like video recordings that she would do of me, she also did it to Megan while Megan was naked. And I've seen it with my own eyeballs. Emily would push and push and push Megan until Megan would react the same way I did. When I first saw this video, I was like looking and I'm like, damn, this Megan girl, like what the hell? What's her problem? And then I saw myself in Megan. Would I ever hold someone at a point? That's crazy. Your story. The first time it snowed in Wisconsin. Normally you think it would be so cute and so sweet. We'd be out there like throwing snowball fights at each other. It would be so cute. We'd come inside. She'd probably want me to eat like cheeseburgers and like a bunch of chicken nuggets and stuff from McDonald's. It would just be so cute and so sweet. But no, do you want to know what happened? I had a full-fledged panic attack because all I could do was think about Rarity. You want to know what her response was? Nothing. I turned over in bed and I started crying. After my panic attack, I was like, genuinely, she hates me. I rolled over and guess what happened? Full-fledged fight. Because you know what she said to me? Are you crying again? That's what I dealt with.
And then this is how she ended it.
I couldn't keep her normal behavior for too long before her true self came out again. That's you. I drove 19 hours straight though and flew home the next day. It took that long because of all the stops she had to take. Emily, that's part of your kink. The stops we had to take was due to my size. And you loved my size. You loved my legs. You loved my legs. You have lied and lied and lied. You have fat shamed me. You have made me feel guilty for wanting to lose weight. You have cheated on me. You have used your late fiance as a weapon. When we broke up, before she decided to do this little weird thing with Snowflake, it was because I said, leave me the f alone. I expressed to her how I felt about something and she gaslighted me. She did a lot of threatening anytime she felt like she didn't have control of the situation. I'm so worried she's going to totally lose it when she finds out I talked to you. Because you know me. You know when you do things that hurt me, I lose it. You worked in the mental health field, Emily. You worked with BPD patients. You would constantly tell me, like, Amberlynn, you are straight up BPD. You would tell me that constantly. You knew what triggered me. You never did a single thing to help calm me, ever. You would purposely do things to trigger me. It reminded me of that video of Megan.
And so after this initial live where she's like super heated and confrontational and whatever after Emily's interview went up, then Amberlynn took some time to go be out with her grandma and Mama Lynn, and then she talked to Emily, and then she came back like this.
What I'm trying to say is I feel a lot of regret from my last live stream. I spent time with my grandma and my mom today. I had laughs, I had fun, but in between like those laughs and that fun and spending time with family, I had cracks, like there were cracks that seeped through during that time where I felt so sad. I felt so regretful. If anyone has BPD, which I know a lot of you do, you are not alone. Like I feel so alone sometimes, like reading this chat. Maybe I should have still stayed silent, even after all those times, because I love Emily. I do. Before anyone thinks that I'm about to say we're back together, no. Before anyone thinks that I forgave her, no. Like no weird shit like that. I'm just saying I'm not a monster, and I genuinely feel sad that I did all that. Yeah, she betrayed. Like, why did some of the things that I said, like I didn't need to say that shit. Like there's a difference between like sticking up for myself, saying my story, but like I was popping off. I was like actually BPD rage. Narcissists don't feel empathy towards someone, and I feel so much sadness towards Emily because I know Emily and I know her mental health and I know the things that she goes through, and I just feel fucking bad. And that is why I always kept quiet, because I never wanted to feed her. And I know that she's hurting. I know it. I like feel it in my like
I just feel it. I just know she is. And I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. There was some text messages exchanged, some Snapchats, and I know she's hurting. She called me Pocahontas, but like what? 80% of my viewers think that about me.
Apparently, while Amberlynn was on here crying about Emily, and apparently while Amberlynn was on live crying about Emily and how she didn't know if she wanted to take her back or not, Emily was still replying to and hearting like shady comments about Amberlynn online. And after all the chaos of like the comments that she was liking and replying to, I don't think Emily made any more public statements regarding Amberlynn, at least public to the point of like going to a reaction channel yet. This happens. This will be talked about in the following video after I'm done recapping 2025. But she was being very active on Instagram and commenting back to people who are asking her questions. And she was also just like hearting people who were being shady towards Amberlynn, stuff like that. And I'm not going to go over and show all of this because again, if we did that, we would be here for like 5 days, okay? But just know that it was happening this whole time, okay? As I was scripting this at this point, we were at 48 pages and we hadn't even gotten to Aunt Tammy yet, so like I really needed to like cool my jets. I will say other commentary channels like Karina Kaboom and stuff, they talk a lot about what was going on the sidelines with Tommy on other platforms and social media and stuff, and it wasn't necessarily her coming out to like talk about things in such a public way like she did with Mr. Snowflake. Just giving my overall thoughts on like this whole mess, and I may have the advantage of looking at this in like hindsight and knowing where we're at now. I think we are just dealing with two extremely unreliable narrators here. I will say we do have the context also of all of Amberlynn's other exes' stories and them, like I said, all being very similar to what Emily told. I think my feelings about all of this are very similar to the ones that I saw echoed in comments, in chats and stuff like that. And it's that Amberlynn and Tommy both suck. And they're both toxic as hell, and they both found each other, and they're kind of just like a match made in hell, you know? And I'm not excusing any of the alleged abuse that either of them experienced allegedly from each other, but I just think the whole time I was watching this, I was honestly kind of like, wow, I think Amberlynn's kind of met her match here. And I'm not saying that to be awful or anything, but that's just how I felt watching all of this unfold. And yeah. So those are my overall thoughts on this initial mess with Amberlynn and Emily. Alongside, right after, I'm not entirely sure what the timing of this was, with everything exploding with Emily, in a move that nobody expected at this point, Aunt Tammy enters the chat. Amberlynn's Aunt Tammy. And for those of you who don't know who Aunt Tammy is, Amberlynn had talked about her long ago during the Destiny era, and she told this story about like how Aunt Tammy like blocked her because she was fat or something like that. But then in the infamous video around the Destiny era, I think the title was like addressing all of my lies or something like that. Amberlynn then came out and said that she lied about that with Aunt Tammy. And I'm going to post this clip from an Apathetic Faxx video kind of explaining how Aunt Tammy also went to like Kiwi Farms to like talk shit about Amber. There's a whole lot, okay?
And I get a message from some woman on Facebook. I mean, back in the day on MySpace, sorry, saying, oh my God, I found you. Oh my God. Like, it was my aunt, which is my mom's sister. I messaged them back so splickety quickly. Like, we started talking, and I was in foster care at the time, and like, I told my social worker about it, and she's like, oh my God, you need to go visit them. And I'm like, I did. When I was 17, I met my cousins and I met my aunt, and like we were all finally close. And I was like, okay, I'm 18, I'm out of foster care, I want to live with you guys. And so I went to go live with my aunt, and here I am now, 25 years old. I don't understand something. My aunt has completely stopped talking to me. She blocked me on Facebook, blocked me on her cell phone, blocked my number completely. And the reasoning is because I'm fat. I'm not kidding. I know that sounds bad saying it like that, but the truth is it's because I'm fat.
Then Tammy went to Kiwi Farms to deny these allegations and to share the real reasons she cut ties with her niece. So then Amber decided to make a video confessing to all her lies, which included the lie about her aunt.
And I feel like I need to kind of admit to some things that I have lied about. When I uploaded a video about how my aunt doesn't talk to me anymore because I'm fat, I ended up talking to her regarding that video. I had no idea they were gonna see it. I had no idea my aunt even watched my YouTube anymore. I have, mental issues that cause, me to be bigger. And I kind of wanted to ignore all that and just be like, oh, my aunt doesn't talk to me because I'm fat. I just thought it would be easier. I pushed her away because of just who I am and how I am as a person.
Anyway, Aunt Tammy takes to like Facebook and TikTok and everything, and I think YouTube too, alluding to having all these receipts about Amber, and she even went as far to message Emily. The receipts from these messages come from a TikTok that Aunt Tammy posted where the caption was, Amberlyn Reed's delightful little feeder. She messaged Emily saying, I have stayed quiet for as long as I wish. I seen you for what you were from the very beginning. I tried to warn Amber and my sister. You all will get the karma you deserve. Hell has a special place reserved for people like you. Emily responds saying, I'm assuming you're Amber's aunt. What are you even talking about? You literally know nothing about me. Leave me alone. And Aunt Tammy responds with, I know enough, ... Emily says, you know whatever Amber told her mother, I'm assuming, a reliable source. And Aunt Tammy says, I would never base my belief on anything Amber has to say solely. I base my opinions on you and what you have done and what I have seen and read myself. As well as an overall gut feeling. My goodness, you're a flipping feeder. Gross and should be criminal in itself. Taking advantage of the ones sick and suffering for your own personal enjoyment and sick fetishes. You say leave you alone. How about you leave my fucking niece alone for good before you kill her too? Hi, editing Megan here. I'm going to be kind of critical of Aunt Tammy a little bit later in this segment, but I just want to interject here and say that, like, knowing what I know about how this all pans out, like, she kind of ate down with all these messages to Emily, and it's very much giving, like, quintessential, like, I can bully my family, but nobody else can, and I honestly kind of love that. I'm not gonna lie, so I just wanted to put that in here. And Emily says, you're reading internet rumors and making an opinion based off of that. You're not different than any other everyday hater. And you acting like you give a fuck about Amber is a joke. She doesn't talk to you for a reason because of how you act. What an embarrassment. And Aunt Tammy says, I don't have to defend myself to you. You are right about one thing. We don't talk for a reason. Actually, several reasons. And you just happen to be one of many. You want to talk about embarrassment? Why don't you worry about raising your daughter instead of getting off on your sick fetishes? What do people in your life say about this? Or is all this just a sick, twisted secret you play on your free time? Emily responds saying, yikes, like I said, you know nothing about me other than stupid internet rumors. But the fact that you're going to betray your own family for a little bit of internet clout when everybody already thinks you're unhinged is wild. So those were the messages that Aunt Tammy shared on TikTok. And so after all of this kind of started, Amberlyn went live and started talking about it right away and kind of explained who Tammy was in her family.
Before I moved here, it was like 2 months before I moved here, my mom and my aunt, who are sisters, so Mama Lynn and my aunt, I'm just gonna call her Tammy because I feel disgust. Like, I used to call her auntie, but literally she's nothing to me. She's nothing to me. So Mama Lynn and Tammy got in a fight 2 months before I got here. Not a physical fight, but like an argument. And it was a big enough argument that my mom was genuinely hurt. My mom does not even like her own sister. My mom does not like her own sister. So I ended up coming here, and my aunt did come over the first day I was here. It was even while Feline was still here. So she met Feline, the whole nine. So I moved here the beginning of October. I didn't end up seeing my aunt again until like Thanksgiving. So it was almost 2 months later. Finally, in February of 2024, I sent her a picture of me and her from Thanksgiving, and I was just like, love you, miss you. And all she did was heart it, and she never like responded. And I think I took that as a hint. I was like, okay, so we're doing this thing where we're gonna be mad at Amber Lynn because she came from Mama Lynn's womb. Like, my aunt and my mom were having the dramatics. My aunt and my mom were having the beef. My aunt and my mom were going through it. Like, it had nothing to do with me. So I didn't hear from my aunt at all. My aunt has no idea who Emily is. My aunt has never heard of Emily. I have not spoken to my aunt since February 2024. I met Emily June 2024. So please remember that. Literally the end of June 2024. So I have not seen my aunt. I have not talked to my aunt about Emily. None of my family has met Emily besides my grandma and my mom. So today, my mom calls me. She was like, do you see what's happening? When I found out, my jaw was on the ground. So my aunt's been like doing some weird stuff, trying to reach out to Snowflake and like, I don't know, out of literal nowhere.
What happened was my aunt literally saw me in distress in my live stream, hyperventilating, anxiety, crying about Emily, literally heartbroken. And my aunt literally sat there and said, how do I make this worse? I messaged her today, and this is what I said. My mom messaged her too today and was like, what are you doing? My aunt popped off some wild, like unhinged, like narrative that isn't even real. Like genuinely, like I'm scared to my aunt. She almost sounds like she's like not fully sober. Like that's how it seems to me. Like the things that she's saying is just like the craziest thing I've ever seen. So I reached out to her today and I said, I'm reaching out because I truly don't understand what's going on. We have already talked through it and forgiven each other for anything that happened years and years ago. Since I've been in Oklahoma, I have done nothing to you, yet you've chosen to ignore me because of an argument you and my mom are both going through, which has absolutely nothing to do with me at all. I went to Thanksgiving a couple years ago and thought everything was fine, but to my surprise, you have decided to outcast me, and because of the issues you and my mom are dealing with. I'm not the type to take sides. Now you're going online making negative comments about me, my mom, and my ex. You've seen how much I've been struggling lately via my live streams. You've seen the pain I'm in. Because my aunt, like, she's known for watching every single thing I post online, which is already really weird. And instead of offering kindness, you decided to make it worse. Her response was, funny how you reach out now, but not for the last 2 years. Goodbye, Amber. I responded and said, I did reach out. You didn't respond. Since Thanksgiving of 2023, every time we spoke, it was because I messaged you first. Then you stopped responding altogether in February 2024. What was I to do with that? I can take a hint.
And during this live, Amberlynn finds out that Aunt Tammy is on Oh Lordy, It's Jordy's live stream, interviewing with him. In this live, Aunt Tammy is talking about how angry she was that Amberlynn did not go to her wedding because she claimed that she was too big, but then she went other places despite saying she was too big to go to her wedding.
Your aunt is spilling about it all out on you. Huh? Where at? We could do a live reaction on Jordy's live.
Okay, so obviously she's over there trying to say that I'm mentally unstable and this and that.
You are mentally unstable, love. You are mentally unstable. We're both cut from the same cloth.
Aren't we all in one way or another?
The difference is I'm not sitting here going online and actually ignoring my niece for no reason because I'm in an argument with her mother.
So I've had my day, I have my diagnoses, I have my labels, but I am mentally sound. The total absolute grossness of this feeder era, I just can't.
Feeder era? My aunt is literally saying feeder era.
The final straw really has been building up, and I've been saying it, it's coming. A person can only hold back so much.
You don't know me.
I'm human at the end of the day.
I'm human at the end of the day.
My sister and Amber have done me extremely wrong over the last 2 years, and
my sister and Amber have done me extremely wrong in the last 2 years.
Every single video she's ever put out, I have tried to be a good aunt to Amber.
You never tried to be a good aunt to me, love. Here I am in the flesh trying to be a good niece for you, and she's saying she's pissed you didn't go to her wedding because you were too big but went to other places. Yeah, I could not go to her wedding. Yeah, I couldn't go to her wedding. And I didn't go to other places. Like, do you know how far away Kentucky is from Oklahoma? Like, I didn't go to other places. I didn't go anywhere. And do you want to know something really crazy? She got married on my mom's soberversary date. My mom's soberversary is November 1st. And it's going to be, this year will be 10 years. My aunt got married on my mom's 7th soberversary date. Who does that? Billie Eilish, Wisconsin, was a 2-hour drive. A 2-hour drive. She's mad that I didn't drive like 10 plus hours to go to her wedding because I literally couldn't at the time, especially because it was around the time where I hurt my ankle. Do you guys remember that? I was still healing from that. It was a mess. But yet I am, 15 minutes away from her now? And she never came to see me.
I have so many messages and calls and just telling her I'm not trying to replace your mom. I'm just trying to be your person, I've tried to teach her on how to diet and exercise and make good choices.
She's tried to teach me how to diet and exercise even though she's gained all her weight back that she lost when she was doing keto.
And Aunt Tammy talks a lot about how she wasn't trying to replace her mom and she was only trying to be like a safe person for Amberlynn while her mom was in prison. And she goes on and on about how she was trying to teach her how to diet and exercise. She also talks about how she's never gotten to meet any of Amberlynn's girlfriends since she moved to Oklahoma. Amberlynn says that was a lie because she got to meet Wifey. She also seems mad that at Amberlynn for putting Mama Lynn, who is Aunt Tammy's sister, all of her business like on the internet, basically.
All my sister's business out on there for years with no cost. Now talk about my mom, things people are in her life now, but she's still badmouthing them. She's still running the narrative that she's this poor little victim. Amber had more chances than most people do. The difference is she was rescued from that, put into foster care. Every foster care house she went into was better than I had ever dreamed of living in. You know what I mean? She had those opportunities, but she squashed them, and she never.
You don't know what I went through in my foster homes. I have shared bits and pieces of these things.
Never appreciated them. She would talk mad shit,
because I'm allowed to, Binks.
To me over the phone while they're in their huge house and swimming in their pool and feeding her. Never good enough.
Where am I at? I'm in a huge house with a pool getting fed? I literally feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
And as this one interview with Jordy went on, and Amberlynn reacts to it, listen, I don't like Amberlynn as much as the next person. I think I've made that abundantly clear, okay? But I immediately just started having very mixed feelings about Aunt Tammy. I don't know if you guys are going to like my feelings about Aunt Tammy very much, but I do know that she's a very conflicting character in the community, and a lot of people have very mixed feelings on her. We'll get to my overall feelings once I tell you everything that kind of happened here. Aunt Tammy comes back and talks about Amberlynn's initial reaction to the first interview, and then Amberlynn goes live and reacts to that. And in this reaction, Amberlynn starts off with like a few notes, and she talks about how when Aunt Tammy knew her in the past, a lot of the time she was like pretty young with her undiagnosed BPD.
Imagine undiagnosed BPD, thrown around, just got out of like thrown around foster homes, kicked out again, like thinking you're gonna have this relationship with your mom. Like, yeah, I was a little hecticana, but like you're hecticana because why? Like, you were a lot older than me. I could have learned by example, but instead I was thrown out yet again, all because like I stood by my mom's side. But like, let's talk about like what happened the last 2 years. I have genuinely done nothing to you.
I hate when Amberlynn uses her BPD as an excuse for her very shitty behavior towards people and partners and whoever. But I do think that as a child, even as a young adult, okay, I do think there is an argument to be made that it can be used as kind of an excuse or an explanation for like shitty behavior, especially to family members. And I know there's a lot more nuance to this conversation than that, but just regarding Amberlynn and Aunt Tammy, I think there should be more nuance there with young Amberlynn, okay? Especially when it is an adult talking about how they felt they were treated by that child. And I will say that a lot of the instances that Aunt Tammy brings up regarding how she doesn't like how she was treated by Amberlynn, it was after she moved to Oklahoma. And when that happened, Amberlynn was very much an adult. I think she was like in her 30s at that point. But this was also the first time at all, or just in a very long time, that Amberlynn was seeing a lot of her biological family. One thing I will never take away from Amberlynn is that she had a shitty upbringing, her family is very dysfunctional, and that overall her childhood just seemed very unstable. And while I do think she uses this as an excuse too much to get away with a lot of very deplorable behavior, I understand though that even in her 30s, that Amberlynn meeting some of her biological family for the first time, or just seeing them for the first time in a really long time, was probably a lot emotionally to handle, right? Given the context of her upbringing. I also want to say here that like it is also fully Amberlynn's responsibility as an adult to work through this in therapy on her own, to not be shitty to people now. But I just wanted to say this, like, as someone who, like, my family's not nearly what Amberlynn's is, but like sometimes when I'm around certain family members, like I have like emotional responses, like of kind of like changing how I act or whatever, just so I can get through the interaction. And so like I was kind of thinking it through that lens, and I can only imagine like what that would be like as in the context of like Amberlynn's childhood and upbringing and stuff. And so I'm just gonna put some clips in here of Amberlynn reacting to this second interview that Aunt Tammy did, just so you guys can start getting an even better idea of Aunt Tammy, okay?
That day, I presented my sister with a very special medallion privately at my wedding. And I have text and pictures and all that to prove every bit of that. Should I have to prove it? No. But again, I have it all in case I have to. So when she said that, it really did shake. I was just like, wow, this girl is just beyond a piece of work. She says that I never tried to be a good aunt to her. When I read back all these texts that I have done with this girl over the years, I wish I had an aunt like me. Yeah. I wish I had anybody in my life that tried as hard as I did to be a person for Amber. Through it all. Even when she disrespected me and lied to me over the stupidest things that didn't even need to be lied about. I still wanted to keep loving her. And part of the reason why I'm so hurt right now, she says that she texted me in February, something with that picture. That was true, and I did only heart it. Oh my gosh, I'm such a horrible person. I was. Because if you think about it, I waited all this time for Amber to not only be in my life in a healthy way, but she's moving like 10-minute drive from me. Like, holy crap, I was so excited. Let me just use my mom as the example because it's part of the formula. So I'm talking to my mom. She's in my life. And my sister is talking to my mom. They're in each other's lives, right? My mom doesn't have a lot going on in her life. She's elderly. She's sick. She doesn't really do a lot. So really the only thing that she has to talk about is medical stuff and me and my sister. So when she talks to my sister, she may say, oh, your sister's in so-and-so city. They're doing this. Or your sister's sick. It's just normal conversation. It's not talking bad about the other person behind the back or stirring the pot. It was times I've stopped watching her YouTube. Now, I have seen what I thought to be every video she put out for years. And then there'd be times where I would have to stop watching. My whole entire family can tell you this. I wanted to know Amber so bad.
You ruined that though.
So I'm always trying. I had to find out about Amber through YouTube. I would even tell Amber, I'm not just another YouTube follower. I'm your aunt. I shouldn't hear every detail of your life through YouTube. So I'm going to quit watching your videos. And if you want me to be in your life, you can let me know what's going on in your life. Well, instead of doing that, she would wait and then she'd come, are you watching my videos again yet? I really wish you would. Yeah, I could have done this years ago. I mean, I could have made some money.
Yeah, Jessica, like, what?
By now, don't you think? I mean, that's not the intention. Never was, never will be. It's not that. I'm not jealous of Amber or her money. I live a very comfortable life. I don't need for anything. It's not about money at all. It's about her slowly killing herself, and I can't keep watching it. Yet, I was addicted to watching it, trying to help her. I couldn't stop. I still cannot, my brain cannot wrap around the fact. Let's even believe that, even though I could never, that she didn't really believe Emily was a feeder. Regardless, you know now. And after that big blow up that they had, and Emily did what she did, and all this stuff online, the very next day, we're talking again.
So yeah, basically Aunt Tammy keeps going on and talking about how she's mad that Amber like has her mom drive her to the grocery store. She says the liquor store to buy alcohol, which I can understand because Amberlynn's mom is a recovering addict, and Amberlynn clarifies that it is the grocery store, but like, who knows. And Aunt Tammy also brings up that she got really mad when she found out that Amber was asking for her mom's help when she started taking Ozempic shots, because she was worried that this would trigger Mama Lynn, right? Because she is a recovering addict. To this, Amberlynn says that her mom has been interested in starting Ozempic herself. So like her mom was fine with it, but yeah, that's a lot of what Aunt Tammy was mad about. And she just keeps going and going and going in this second interview. And I think, oh, I forgot to put Aunt Tammy on the board. Oh my God. Aunt Tammy is now on the board. Okay. So yeah, Aunt Tammy is just like going on and on and on in this interview. I will say, and I know some people thought she was faking this, Amberlynn starts like rocking back and forth, listening to a lot of what Aunt Tammy had to say in this one. But to me, it looked real. The rocking back and forth looked real. It looked like she was dissociating, and like, I don't know, some people thought it was fake. To me, it looked real. Maybe I'm giving her too much credit. So after this second interview, in another live stream, Aunt Tammy calls Amberlynn. And in this call, Aunt Tammy just lays into Amberlynn. I think this is the one where I really just had all sorts of alarm bells start going off in my head. And I was like, oh, I think I've got Aunt Tammy's number. Like, I think I know what this whole thing is more or less about, okay? Because throughout this conversation, Aunt Tammy goes Oh, I forgot to put my AirPod in. I had one AirPod in this. Hold on. Oh, I could hear myself too well. One AirPod is in. Anyway, in this conversation with Amberlynn, Aunt Tammy goes on and on and on about how much she has done for Amberlynn's mom, who again is her sister. And I will give Aunt Tammy credit where it is due. She absolutely clocks Amberlynn for some of the bullshit that she deserves to be clocked on, okay? But I really think that a lot of Aunt Tammy's bitterness surrounding Amberlynn comes from the caretaking position that she was kind of put in for Amberlynn's mom. And I really do think that Amberlynn was right in her last live streams where she was saying that Aunt Tammy holds a lot of resentment towards her because she is Mama Lynn's daughter. I'm gonna put clips here just so you can get a picture of how this phone call went.
You're clearly watching my live stream and I said I don't feel like doing this anymore, so why are you calling?
Because you can't run my name and multiple family members in the dirt for decades and think you're just going to walk away that easy. I'm finally done. I'm finally ready. I got the receipts. I got the proof. I'm not afraid of you, Amber, unlike all your other victims. I thought I had seen and heard everything that you've done over these years, but I was so blind by your manipulation. And when I seen half of the videos that I've seen with documented proof of how you treat people, not only in our family, but people in general, you are one vile, disgusting human being, and I want nothing to do with you ever again, including your mother. Your mother, your whole family, your whole Reed family is nothing but vile, disgusting degenerates that rape, manipulate, and abuse. Physically, mentally, spiritually, you name it, you guys do it, and you do it proud. But I see it so clear now that I don't want nothing to do with you. But do you think you're going to continue to lie about me and the family members that I do care about and get away with it? No, you're not. I will continue to tell the truth. The difference between me and you is I have the truth to tell, and I have the receipts to back it up. So you want to know why I'm listening to your live right now? The reason is just to see what bullshit you're going to say next. And sure enough, it didn't take long. You try to say that you cut off talking to me? I've been looking over texts for the last days, and I have so much proof, time and time again, where you're begging me to talk to you again, where I blocked you. I quit watching your videos. You kept begging me, please watch, please watch. I don't want to lose you, Auntie. All the lies you told me that I caught you on, called you on, you'd apologize, and then do it again and again and again and again.
What did I do in the last 2 years to you?
In the last 2 years. Okay, let me see if I can explain this. It's not an easy black or white answer or an answer that you can get in 2 seconds because like I keep saying, I've been doing this your whole entire life. You have a person that has fought to be in your life your whole entire life in one way or the other, no matter if you've seen it or not. And you didn't meet me at 17. You met me when you were 14, when I went to California for the first time after 16 years. Remember you getting the pot of spaghetti out of the refrigerator and using the really huge utensil, taking big scoops out of the pot onto your plate where your dad said, I think that's enough, Amber. That's my first memory of you. And you still continue to pile on your plate. Yeah, that story goes around our family year after year after year. From then, I tried getting you through the foster care because you painted the story. It was so bad. And then you even put me down for it that time. Your mom came in the picture, destroyed that. So then you went on to my mom's house. We all know what happened with that. You got kicked out for what? Being disrespectful. Surprise, right? So then you go on to Casey, and then Crystal, and then Destiny, and then Becky. The whole time, I'm in the background, loving you, supporting you, sharing every bit of my diet with you, exercise, financial, and yes, I have all the proof. And then we get up to the current last 2 years. Who is the happiest person in this world for Amber to move to Oklahoma City? It was me, your aunt. Your mom didn't want you to come. She was very nervous about you coming because of the destruction and stress level that you bring with your just presence. I, against my whole entire family, would say things like, I know you guys are worried, but I'm so excited. We have text showing that excitement for when you're going to get here. We're going to hang out. We can't wait. I wanted to diet with you. I wanted to exercise with you. I was so excited because, as you love to point out, I was very successful on keto. You get here, I see you one time. I try to see you, and I'm told I can only see you with your mother. I question you about it. You say, oh, I was just nervous. I haven't seen my family in 14 years and blah, blah, blah. Then you didn't reach out to me after that ever. Not once to come over, pick you up, go do anything. November, you reach out to me because you want something, a vape. December, you reach out to me. You want something, a vape. You checked in when I had COVID. You said Merry Christmas. I had COVID. I answered you the very next day. Then nothing in January. And then you send me a picture in February. So you want to know why I'm mad? Because I fought for you for freaking years. And then when you finally get here, I'm left. You and sister are going to museums and here and there, and I'm told I can't see you without my sister. You're here now, and you still have nothing to do with me. So you want to bring up me and your mom's fight, right, as the reason. No, you are the reason we don't talk. You are in your 30s. You can use a phone. You can make arrangements to spend time with your aunt, and you chose not to because me and your mom were in a disagreement. Any other questions?
Well, yeah, it is true. I was feeling anxious to see my family again. It had nothing to do with you. It felt easier for me to be around family that I have not seen in 14 years if my mom was there. That was an anxiety thing. It was a coping thing. It is what it is. So I'm sorry.
So whose fault is it, Amber? Is it your fault or is it my fault that we haven't seen each other? Because the narrative that you're telling is different. So put it out there. Whose fault is it, Amber?
Yours.
Yours. And after Thanksgiving, I heard that my sister talked a whole bunch of shit about Thanksgiving over at my house. Once again, opening up my home to you guys. And at the end of the day, when I thought it was a wonderful day as well, guess what I got to hear? How y'all talk shit. I don't even know what the shit was. It was supposed to be so vile that it couldn't even be repeated.
I didn't say anything bad about the time at your home. And then, I wasn't invited to anything Christmas related, which honestly hurt a lot. I literally bawled my eyes out.
You truly are a piece of work. I tell you what, your manipulation is just like it used to work. It used to catch me. It used to slow me down and give you the benefit of the doubt. But I just see it too clearly now, and I don't even know if I want to entertain you anymore because you can't own anything. I mean, we're talking decades of text here. I'll watch a video and something will be brought up and I'll be like, what the heck? All I have to do is go to my messages and put in simple words. And then our conversations come up word for word. You have abused me, Amber. You have manipulated me, Amber, for a long time because of the love I had for my sister and for you. And you used that and you manipulated me to be the person when I would never be your person. But you led me to believe that for a long time. We can talk about all the different topics, being your mom in prison, you writing her, all that. That's long text threads of the bullshit you came up with for that. Did you owe your mom anything? No, but you said you wanted it. The text started with you asking, not me going, you need to. You wanted it, and I was the in-between person helping you. Without me, you would not be in your mom's life today. Without me, my sister would not be in my mom's life today. I have always been forced to be the in-between person, correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Holy shit.
I don't want to insult you, but it just feels like you're bitter that me and my mom are close. And you didn't.
I'm not. I wouldn't have played the middle person all that time if I didn't want you guys close. It doesn't even make sense. The goal, the pot at the end of the rainbow was to have my sister clean and you and her enjoy life together. I just didn't know I'd be kicked to the curb in the process. Bitter, I don't think is the right word. Pissed off, I think is more accurate. Because it's disgusting. Besides this that's currently going on, what I have learned about you through your relationships that I've been watching, I don't want you in my life anyway. Even if we could amend this, you're a horrible person in my eyes now. You're vile. You're self-absorbed. You're manipulative. You're abusive. Not only physically, but mentally. So really all this is for nothing because there is no fixing this. I will never be in your life, my sister's life, or my mother's life for the rest of my life. And you can take that to the bank and cash it. Have a good night, Amber, and a good life. I wish you nothing but the best. You can talk all your shit that you want online. I give no fucks. Will I still watch it? Probably. Because you're a mind fuck at this point. I am so mind blown at the way you think and the way you act. Because as a 54-year-old woman, I still have some life to live. And I choose to live it. And I choose to live it without your bullshit in it. And you think it's cute to say I'm obsessed with you, that watched all your videos. That's just weird. There ain't nothing weird about that. I wanted a relationship with my niece, and the only way I got it was through YouTube. I lost, you won. I hope you have a great life.
But after this live stream, then Amberlynn came on a few more times over the course of the next few days, talking more about Aunt Tammy. And was the way Amberlynn handled this, like, the quote-unquote right way? No. Okay. And do I think she kind of resorted to a lot of her old ways of, like, playing the victim to deflect from the very real things, the very true things that Aunt Tammy clocked her on? Yes. Okay. So I'm not saying Amberlynn got out of this situation scot-free. I'm really not. Because Amberlynn said in a live stream that was then deleted, and this was before, like, her channel got demonetized and she privated everything, that Amberlynn talked to Aunt Tammy's daughter. And Aunt Tammy's daughter has gone no contact with Aunt Tammy, supposedly. This is all from Amberlynn. And in this live stream, Amberlynn alluded to the reason that Aunt Tammy's daughter went no contact with her was because the man that Aunt Tammy chose to marry SA'd the daughter when she was a child, but Aunt Tammy made her, like, take it back and apologize. And after this accusation, Aunt Tammy threatened to sue Amberlynn and actually did file the motion. After that is looming in the air pretty much up until the end of this video. After Amberlynn was threatened with a lawsuit from Aunt Tammy, Amberlynn announces that she is then taking a break from YouTube. Here's the deal, okay? I may have a bias. In fact, I know I probably do have a bias here when I talk about Aunt Tammy, because I have a couple of Aunt Tammys. I'm not going to go into it too much here because that's, like, none of your business, and I'm not Amberlynn, and I'm not about to start spreading my business all over the internet. I'll be honest, listening to the way Aunt Tammy talked to Amberlynn or about Amberlynn in certain instances really had me just, like, at my desk, because I was like, oh, this is ugh. I've never had a relative, like, lay into me the way Aunt Tammy laid into Amber. I've obviously never had one come out and, like, talk shit about me on the internet, but I have been in the middle of, like, squabbles between my parents and their siblings sometimes. It wasn't my parents' fault. They tried to protect me from things as much as they could in that regard. It's not a fun place to be. Like I said, I do think some of the stuff that Aunt Tammy called out Amberlynn on echoed a lot of the feelings that the community at large has about Amberlynn in terms of how she treats her partners, how she just moves about her life. But I think when it came to the whole Aunt Tammy thing, I was able to, like, hold space for Amberlynn as a child and as a young adult who had a very unstable life and was trying to maneuver that with allegedly undiagnosed mental health issues and untreated mental health issues. And Amberlynn still has not treated those in her adulthood, and that is on her, okay? But young Amberlynn as a child, as a young adult, that okay. But I'm also not excusing her starting to, like, romantically pursue Casey when he was 15 and she was, like, 17 or 18. But in terms of in the context of Aunt Tammy and what Aunt Tammy talked about, I do think that there should be more nuance there given to Amberlynn in terms of her relationships with her family I do think that Aunt Tammy coming forward about Amberlynn was her way of kind of airing a lot of very, very deep grievances that she has with Amberlynn's mom and that whole family. And I think she used Amberlynn's well-deserved tarnished reputation online to do that. Because one thing about this side of the internet is that 9 times out of 10, when someone comes out with tea, receipts, whatever on Amberlynn, and it paints Amberlynn in a negative light, they are going to believe it. With good reason, because Amberlynn is a shitty person who does shitty things. It's reasonable to believe these people who come out and talk about how Amberlynn Reed is a shitty person who does shitty things. But I think Aunt Tammy, because she admitted to watching so much of Amberlynn Reed's content, I think Aunt Tammy knew about that reputation, okay, and had reached some sort of breaking point with her family, her sister, whatever. And so she took advantage of that shitty, tarnished reputation that Amberlynn has to air out the dirty laundry about her family. And I don't know if these thoughts and feelings are going to be agreed with by you guys, but this is just what I felt and I saw when I was watching all of the initial stuff with Aunt Tammy come out. Yeah, and like I said, I probably 100% do have a bias with this because listening to Aunt Tammy talk sometimes was a little triggering for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's my thoughts on the whole Aunt Tammy situation type deal. So after that, we got a break. Thank God. There was some drama happening in other places, like continuing to shade Amber across the internet and whatever. But as far as the stuff with Emily Tommy is concerned, I can go into that in more detail in the video that I'm planning on doing on Amberlynn's involvement in the lolcow universe, because I do feel like a lot of the stuff that was happening with Amberlynn and Emily right now, and honestly until November, which is how far we're going up to in this video, is kind of null and void now that stuff has happened in 2026. Well, in December 2025 and 2026. But at the end of September, she does come back. She comes back on, I believe, YouTube Shorts, where she is participating in the trend of showing what she eats in a day from her 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. job. And this era made me laugh so hard. And it was just some much needed brevity after like all of this shit with Emily, Aunt Tammy, whatever happened. Because like I mentioned, all the way in the beginning of part 1, you remember that? I work a 9-to-5 job, okay? I have a full-time job. And when I tell you this girl was just clicky-clacking away on her keyboard and not emailing a single person, please believe me, okay? And it was just so funny. And I had to laugh, like, because Amber Lynn's a troll, and you cannot tell me this wasn't a troll, but I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, October rolls around. She goes live again. She's back from her break. She doubles down on that she is not pretending in these shorts, and that she does in fact have a real job.
No, I'm not pretending. I'm actually working on something, and I'm very, very excited. So yeah, I've been working, technically, if we want to be like a technical girly pop over here, I've been working from home for over a decade, but no, it's so funny. Like, I actually live for the memes. I am genuinely not gonna lie about it. I live for the memes of people thinking I'm not typing.
She also says that she is not with Emily anymore at this point in time, and she is single and not yet ready to mingle, which, if there's anything I have learned over the course of watching all of this and watching Amber Lynn talk about Emily and this whole situation, and just watching Amber Lynn talk about relationships in general, whenever she says she's single as a Pringle, that usually means that she is not single. This live goes on, and then boom, Aunt Tammy literally enters the live chat by sending Amber Lynn a $5 super chat saying, "Make it 1 week without lying." And Amber Lynn brushes the super chat off and just responds to it saying her iconic, "Thank you for the money."
Long, but do not be mean to my mom, please. Thank you for the money.
So October is also when Rachel came out with her video called Exposing Amber Lynn Reed's Lies with Receipts. And in this video, Rachel debunks a lot of Amber Lynn's DV allegations that she made towards Emily. Because prior to this, in live streams also, Amber Lynn had like read journal entries supposedly from the time that she was with Emily. So Rachel took the time to prove that these journals were, again, allegedly bullshit. And then she also goes over that Amber Lynn had lied about Tommy kicking her. And credit where credit is due, this was a bomb that went off in the community, okay? People were losing their minds because she also included screenshots of text messages that people hadn't seen yet. I think a lot of us were thinking that the claims from Amber Lynn were shaky to begin with, but a lot of us also thought that Emily's claims were shaky to begin with. But I think a lot more people were, again, because of the way this community is, were more inclined to believe Emily just because Amber Lynn has a proven track record with the community. Screenshots and stuff had never been seen before, so it was just like a huge explosion again. However, it came out via Charlie Gold that to make this video and get these screenshots and other receipts and proof and whatever, that Rachel befriended Emily, offered to pay her for the receipts, and even went as far to flirt with Emily to get more information. And then in the initial version of this video, she shared a voice memo that Emily then came out and said that she didn't give her consent for Rachel to use. After that all came out about how Rachel got the information, I don't think the community like questioned the validity of the screenshots, but I do think they started to question the validity of like the voice note and stuff like that, because at this point Emily thought she was getting paid. But I did a whole video on this debacle because all of this information about how Rachel got the information came out in November, and so I did a video on this whole thing and I gave all of my thoughts on it in that video. Again, all of my Gorlworld commentary will be linked down below in the playlist. But yeah, regardless, after these screenshots were out, Amber Lynn went live pretty soon after Rachel put this video up. And I should also mention here that when Amber Lynn returned to lives after her break in September, a lot of people in the chat were also asking her about the lawsuit with Aunt Tammy, but overall she ignores those questions. And also in this live that I'm talking about here, this first one, when after Rachel's video went up, she also pretty much ignores everything that's being asked about Rachel's video. But then in another live stream, she finally responded to the situation. And in this live, Rachel is also in the chat talking to her. And so I'm just going to put clips here of how that went.
I want to be single. Like, being single is very important to me because I don't have this heavy burden of wondering every day what life is going to be like. Like, I know what it is, and it's peaceful as when you're single. I feel my mental health improving every single day. Why are you wearing Emily's necklace? Okay, so the necklace you're actually gonna see in my short that is already scheduled tomorrow. It's actually a necklace that I got, but I didn't want to like spoil it in a Snapchat, so you're actually gonna see me get it. I like literally do an unboxing, so it wasn't Emily's necklace. Didn't she make fun of your body though? Yeah, it's definitely weird. I think they're fighting again today. No, I'm not even Emily's friend anymore. I do not want her in my life. And that's all I'm gonna say. Purse baby, I appreciate your questions 100,000%, but I just don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay. Hello, Rachel. Hello. Welcome. Do you watch her vids? Whose vids? Rachel's. I'm so confused. I stay confused. I live in confusion land. Oh, it's all coming together, but no, I do not. No, I do not. Yeah, I can't put myself through that bullshit. I'll tell you that one. Oh my god. I admitted, I wasn't a good girlfriend to Beck. I admitted when I wasn't a good friend. I admitted when I wasn't a good niece. I admitted when I was all those things. So, if I was bad to Emily, why wouldn't I just admit it? I can't say anything. I don't know Star Walker, but it's exhausting. Like, I've been through some shit. I've never wished I had never met someone in my whole entire life until now. And that says a lot. I just don't want to talk about this anymore. Yeah, I'm sorry for going absolutely insane and unhinged due to... I just don't want to talk about it anymore. It's the worst fucking relationship I've ever been in my life. I want nothing to do with her. I don't keep going back. I have not been with her in months. I did not go back to her. I have been single. I have so many receipts. Are you kidding? I have receipts of her calling me a bitch, worthless, fat ass. A cheating bitch when I didn't do anything. Like, you have no idea the horrible things that she has said to me. And I genuinely just took it. And I was the one to apologize to her for her saying those things to me. And I've never spoken to her like that. I was in Wisconsin. I would go back and forth where I wanted to leave, and I would tell her that, and I would tell my mom and this and that. When I was ready to leave, she would become like an angel, like the sweetest thing, trying to win me back, acting like the most perfect person I've ever known, and it would work every time. And then she would tell me to leave, and then she would tell me to stay, and then I would say I want to leave, and then we were both doing that back and forth, and eventually I said, I am leaving, I am done. Rachel, I literally just said how her and I both would go back and forth. Rachel, you act like you know the truth, but you are being manipulated by the best manipulator I have ever known in my whole entire life. My whole entire life. Of course you know the date, Rachel, because Emily has been up your ass because she has to manipulate you. Narcissists need they need to be like, you're number one, you are right. Like, wow, someone with BPD gets unhinged when, Rachel, love, you fucking ugly? Yeah, and I said ugly because everything you've done is ugly as fuck. What type of proof do you want to see? What type of proof, love? Did I record her and stuff like a psycho? No. Show that? Question mark. What? I just said that I'm not the one that does that. But your little bestie you've been communicating with, that's what she likes to do. That's the type of games that she likes to do. You know how many times I saw Megan naked because Emily recorded her? You wouldn't even know. Why doesn't Rachel know how to answer? Like, she's right here and does not know how to answer. Like, it's kind of weird, not gonna lie. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Rachel wants to call me an idiot. Says the one that can't make content of their own. Anyways, I'm gonna go. Bye.
In the live after this one, where Rachel was in the chat, Amber Lynn fully snaps, okay, threatening to sue people.
This shit's about to go down. This is gonna be a new era. This is gonna be a new era. And it just goes to show what these reaction channels are. Because the ankle and everyone else thought that Emily was an M-word, which I never thought that, will never think that, so don't ever come for me when it comes to that. But they thought she was the most vile, disgusting piece of trash. And now they're literally on her. I'm like literally appalled. Like, where are their morals at? And the way that I'm getting treated because of this, the harassment right there. So all of you guys, I'm gonna be screenshotting because you guys are proving my case more and more. These crash outs I have on live stream, also more evidence that my mental health is fucked because of this. So this is actually pretty amazing. So thank you. Thank you. This is actually in full support of what I need. Emily, you're screwed. And I know you're watching because you are obsessed with me. You're obsessed with the reaction channels. You're obsessed with the forums. She has some fake names. She's a part of all the forums. Fuck off. Like, genuinely speaking, fuck off. Emily, I wouldn't share that video if I were you. Ooh, I would not show that video if I were you. I would not show that video if I were you. That would be a really bad idea if I were you. Because it's actually illegal. She is in a whatever, where you can whatever. But if you are, it is not legal to threaten to distribute a video of you in a vulnerable, emotional state for the purpose of harassment. Even if the video does not show nudity, her actions could constitute a serious crime and you'd be able to obtain a civil restraining order against her. That would be really cool. So I haven't seen a single person say, well, you stayed. You stayed. No, but you'll say that to me. Did you say that to Beck? Well, you stayed with Amber Lynn. No, never seen it. Never seen it. I can talk about Beck as much as I want to. Shut the fuck up. Thank you. And you know what's scary? Emily is enjoying this. She enjoys when she sees me in pain. One time.
And in this live too is where Amber Lynn mentions possibility of Emily having a humiliation also. Anyway, after that live stream, people on the internet realized that a lot of lives with a lot of damning allegations against Emily from Amber were just removed from the internet. And the internet put two and two together and they connected the dots as they always do. And they realized that these live streams were wiped from the internet after Aunt Tammy made a short saying that Emily had been fired from her job. Tammy had also posted a couple things shading Emily about losing her job. Then after this, Amber Lynn took to her community tab and said, I need to address something that has become a topic of conversation online. As you might have seen, there has been a lot of discourse between myself and Emily in which feelings were hurt and emotions controlled. I want to clarify an important point that I think may have been lost among the chaos. Emily, to my knowledge or belief, has never intentionally caused someone's health to decline, nor has she ever intentionally caused someone to die. I do not believe that she would ever want to cause somebody's health to decline or to die. She has always shown care regarding my health and been a very caring person in that way. Any statement to the opposite effect does not align with what I believe about Emily at all. She has never deserved the kind of hate or accusations that have been happening in the last year and a half. I want to remind my audience and the reaction channel audience that while the drama is entertaining to you, there are real people with real lives behind it. Please do not make this worse for anyone involved. To do so is harmful, not helpful. These past few days have been extremely painful for the both of us, and I need everyone to know that I will be continuing to take some time to pause, reflect, and focus on moving forward in a healthier way. Thank you to everyone who's shown kindness and understanding during this time. When I saw this, and when a lot of other people saw this, I think we were all like, what? Like the whiplash. Like, because I was basically backtracking like everything that she had been crying about for hours on end on live for the last like weeks, right? But after that community tab post, then Emily took to her Instagram story clarifying that she and Amber Lynn were not together. And then she posted to her Instagram saying, I wasn't going to say anything more, but lies don't get the last word. Feelings can be intense, but they don't rewrite reality. This isn't about taking sides. It's the truth, and it's about truth and transparency. Evidence over accusation. Anyway, Rachel the Python, has an upcoming video that brings everything back to what matters. Truth, transparency, and context backed by real receipts. Hopefully this will put an end to the nonsense. After taking her pause after Emily supposedly got fired from her job, Amber Lynn returned to her live and basically just started acting like everything was fine. And in this initial live stream, it was kind of like nothing. So I'm not going to talk about a whole lot, except for the fact that Twinkie can be heard like crying in the background, like whining in the background, and she doesn't turn around to acknowledge it at all. And so then October into November, Amberlynn makes some like cringy TikToks and then comes back to her lives wearing a crown. She's overall just super smug and annoying in this one. And she hints at like maybe possibly increasing the prices of her memberships, saying how she's not sure if she's going to give those members like a heads up. And then she also says that she'll time people out of the chat when she feels like she needs to.
Time me out this time. Oh my God. I will time people out when I see fit. That is why YouTube has made that even an option.
Then in this live, she does address Twinkie crying in the last live before this, and I'm just going to put how she explains it here.
So I'm used to Twinkie's little like noises and which one means what. I'm used to like what's and whiches and hows. So the cat food is literally right here like this. And when the cats eat, Twinkie, she's a dog. she's a chunky chihuahua. So sometimes when the cats eat, she'll like, cause she wants some, but she's not going to get some and she's never going to. So yeah, it's just a typical, dog being a dog. She's a little baby. And it's just like, I've had her for a decade. So it's like, I'm used to like, so I didn't even think anything of it, but I like literally am obsessed with people like caring about her. Like that means the world to me. Like she is my heart, my soul, like my everything, my best friend. She has been through so much with me. She's my little baby.
And like I said, November was also when all of the Discord screenshots from Charlie Gold and stuff regarding Rachel flirting with Emily to get receipts came out. And so, of course, Amberlynn talked about that on her live stream and was very petty about it.
Jealous? No. Confused? And someone with, like, thoughts? Yes. Yes. Rachel's talking about, I knew Emily was, like, using me to get back at Amber. Like, I don't want to be used. I felt used. That's why I didn't give her the money. But you've literally admitted to using Emily. And that's why you were flirting with her. Fake flirting. I need to be a reaction channel for Rachel. Rachel? This is for Rachel. You big fat smelly. You guys are... No, I'm not calling her fat. It's an actual like song. This is for Rachel. You big fat whatever, however it goes. Anyways, this is giving, wow, Rachel's a normal person. She's giving bitchy, where everyone can be bitchy. She's giving used someone. I'm sure a lot of people watching me right now have used someone. Reaction channels are not superior. They're not better than us. I'm not sticking up for Rachel by any means, but I'm just like, it's giving, everyone needs to open their eyes and process in their brain that we're all just people. We're all just humans, like walking this planet. But she's got that degree. She brings it up in every video. No, she does not. That's giving, what's her name? Honey Bun? How are you trashing her but then call her normal? Because Amberlynn is trying to be better. I'm trying not to be like black-white thinking. I'm trying to like also...
There was also a video of Amberlynn and Emily arguing that got leaked around this time. And so I'll just play that for you here so you have it to add to your arsenal of information, I guess.
Crazy. Because it's like,
You kind of are.
I'm trying to have a genuine conversation with you, and I'm just wondering, why can't we both have bad days? Why is it just you're allowed to have them?
Why do you need to sit here and continue to yell at me? Why can't you go inside like I asked you and give me a little bit of space?
I can give you space. I just want to hug.
I don't want to hug you right now. I just don't.
Okay, fine. Can we just like wrap it up with like a good vibes? Like, because I don't have emotional permanence. I literally don't. Which means when I walk away...
So I have to suffer because of that.
No, I'm saying when I walk away, I'm left with what just happened. And that's what I firmly believe our whole relationship is based off of. So if you just tell me you love me...
Okay, you don't need to explain your unhealthy way of thinking.
Well, a little bit. It's a little unhealthy, I guess.
Very unhealthy.
Okay. I like to leave the conversation with something positive. Because I don't like how this is affecting us. Like, you've had a really bad day.
Can you please give me some space? I'm asking nicely.
Yes, but can you answer a question for me?
Why is it okay for you to backtrack?
How is this ending it nicely, Amberlynn?
No, because I think
Wait, I'll leave you with this. But why?
No,
Seriously?
I guess I want you to reflect. Why is it okay for you to backtrack and have a bad day so bad that you kind of take it out on me all day long, and then I finally pop off because it just became a lot because I also had my own separate bad day. So why is it okay for you to have a bad day, but I'm not?
I didn't say you weren't allowed to, but you sitting here doing this to me when I'm telling you to please stop is not okay.
Okay, your bad day,
Amberlynn, stop.
but your bad day was met with, at the end of the night, I still wanted to hold you. That's what I was looking forward to.
I was going to. I needed a little space
Okay,
first.
but can I tell you what my bad days met with? You're going back to Oklahoma. So do you see the difference?
Because you continue to do this to me over and over again. Back up then, like I asked you to. Or just better, go inside, please. Give me some space. Amberlynn, this is ridiculous. Go inside. Please, I'm not gonna be able to calm down until you please go away for a little bit.
Okay, can you just reflect on like why?
I will reflect. Okay, I am sorry.
Do you really want to break up?
I don't know. I don't have time to space to think. Please go inside and give me space. Please go inside and give me space.
Can I have a kiss? I'm not here to hurt you, Emily. I just want you to love me. I love you. And I'm sorry that I love you, okay?
Please go inside. I love you too.
I'm sorry. Do you accept my apology?
Yes.
I know this shouldn't have happened. I'm fully aware. But I am getting better. And that's without help. And that's only in a few days. I just want you to think of the positive things. Okay. I just feel bad. I'm sorry.
Please give me space. That's all I'm asking for.
Okay. So something that Zoloft has helped me with, anxious attachment. If I'm in an argument with Emily in the past, oh bitch, I'd be texting like this. Please don't be mad at me. I love you. I'm so sorry. Apologizing for things I didn't even do. Oh my God, please no. Don't hang up. Oh my God, no. Where are you? Don't go. Oh my God, please. Like you guys heard it in that video. But the Amberlynn on Zoloft, if we get into an argument, I'm like, I need space. Bye. Zoloft.
But after Amberlynn talked about the Aunt Tammy lawsuit in that last live,
Amber and Tammy court is soon. Actually, no. So I have not spoken about the tea behind that. I guess I will give it. My aunt messaged me this whole paragraphs type deal. Moral of the story, take down the video or I'll sue you. If you tell me to take down a video, I'm gonna do it. I don't care who you are. I've done it in the past for Beck's family. I've done it for friends that I had in Florida. So as soon as she sent that to me, like literally, I happened to be on my phone at that point. As soon as she sent it to me, I just privated it. It's gone. No one can see it anymore unless other people share it on their channel, which there's nothing I can do about that. I did not respond to her. That's just, again, the type of person I am. You can go ahead and try and sue me, but like nothing's gonna happen or come of it because I said one thing that my aunt finds to be slander, defamation, whatever it may be. But she has said upwards to 12 things about me that I find to be defamation, slander, etc. And she started it all. There would be no winning there. There just wouldn't be. It doesn't make sense. So it's not about that. It's just like, that's just who I am. That's why a lot of like, also the Libby content came down.
Aunt Tammy took to her community tab and clarified some things, and she said, clarification statement. To be clear, the message I sent was a formal request for removal of defamatory and privacy violating content from YouTube in accordance with the platform's policies. It was not a statement regarding any separate legal matters, nor did I indicate that any other actions or cases were being withdrawn or reconsidered. It's to distinguish between a platform-based removal request and legal proceedings. They are independent processes. Any assumptions or misinterpretations beyond what was stated are incorrect. And then basically all the posts from Aunt Tammy around this time are clarifying that just because Amberlynn like removed the videos that she asked her to remove, that she wasn't dropping the lawsuit against Amberlynn. There was also a really weird return of Erica Valentine and like her wife, and I'm not even gonna get into, I don't care. There's also a live stream where Amberlynn compares herself to Anne Frank because of her journaling.
Read us a diary entry. No, because people think that diary means nothing. But yet you read the diary of Anne Frank. Like, I don't get it. Diaries mean something. Journals mean something. Just because I'm Amberlynn does not mean anything. Like, journals are everything to some people. And you know how many like biographies there are out there? That's kind of like a fucking autobiography. That's kind of like a fucking journal. Shit. A diary is a diary. You sit down and you write it. Whether it happened in the 1900s or it happened in 2025. Ain't no way you just said that. I did say that. Anne Frank went through way worse than I did, but she had that shit written down. I like that book. Girl, you make my night. Cornbread, stop. You make my night. I want some chili and cornbread. Stop. Girl, these are two different situations. I'm just trying to prove a point that a diary is a diary. Anne Franklin Reed, you can't say that. That's not okay, personally.
And guys, this is like the 60th page of notes. Oh no, this is the 61st page of notes out of 62. So I'm just like, okay, cool. So then after this, Aunt Tammy like went cuckoo nuts bananas on her TikTok, on her community tab, on shorts, whatever, for a period of time, and then she just deleted everything. I think that all that was left after this was on TikTok. Amberlynn talks about Aunt Tammy after she deleted everything in her next live stream, and she says that with the way Aunt Tammy was acting, she felt that she could technically sue Aunt Tammy for like harassment and stuff like that.
Tammy's new post about your stream yesterday. Should we react? Oh my god, there's no way she posted something. This girl's like, this is another one. Hop off my dude. Oh god, here we go. Clarification statement, she says. To be clear, the message I sent was a formal request for removal of defamatory and privacy violating content from YouTube in accordance with the platform's policies. I can't even talk because I care so little. I don't care, actually. Okay, and so I'm not even gonna like listen. I took down the live stream for you. You literally asked me to because I said one thing. But you can go on Jordy's, this and that. You can post this and that. You can go in this chat and that chat, around that chat and this person do this and that. And I don't say a damn thing. But you're gonna say a damn thing.
You can sit here and I think honestly she deleted the shorts because she knows she's wrong. Because she does make so many statements that could be categorized under defamation, 100%. I think that's the reason why. Like, she watches every word that I say, like, down to every last syllable. She genuinely is a horrid person. Like, she is a horrid person through and through. And I am so grateful I do not have her in my life. But if she continues with the harassment, I'm making this known out loud, I might have to get the law involved, only mainly because it's becoming harassment and it's becoming, I'm starting to feel unsafe. What did I call it that one time, you guys? An ease and assist. I forgot the weird thing that I said. No, I will not sue. I will not sue. But I will make it to where she doesn't get to talk about me anymore because it's becoming like I'm becoming kind of scared for my safety a little bit. She makes me feel unwell and cease and desist. A lot of people think that she's obsessed, weird, crazy. A restraining order. Yeah, very that. It's not just like a little drama. Like, she's actually giving me like a stomach ache because she freaks me out. Like, she genuinely freaks me out. I blocked her right after it was like October 20 something, I think, when she was like, take down the live stream. I did it and then I blocked her. I want nothing to do with her. She genuinely will not leave me alone. She talks about me constantly, watches all my stuff. She doesn't realize this, but back when I was using Snapchat as a little area to post, like, I was posting like so many videos. You can see who watches your shit. She watched every single one. What? I can't. There's a difference between, okay, I don't like my niece. I don't agree with the things that she does. There's some bad blood there. Let's move on. But no, it's become so weird. Someone said she made merch. I don't know if I believe that. I feel like if she made merch, that would be beyond weird. That would be like the weirdest thing in the world. That would be like the level, I can't. That would really make me try to get a restraining order, because that's where it's starting to get really creepy. You know, having my mom come over and actually physically look at all my furniture to see if I had bed bugs is like, it made me realize that, like, just like reaction channels, my aunt has a power, and it really does come with like slander and defamation. You have scabies. Obviously, you don't know what scabies is. I'm feeling uneasy. Tammy is giving ew. She's doing too much. Yeah. It's only slander if it's not true. Exactly. I can't stand Tammy. I don't think a lot of people can. I hope that, like, whatever is hurting her, I hope that she heals from it. There's something she's missing in life. She's definitely missing something in life right now. And I hope she finds it. I really do. Because no one deserves, well, most no one's deserves to be in that much pain and that miserable to the point of dancing with the devil while actively fearing God. It's not normal. It's not well. It's screaming, I need help.
And then also in November, Amberlynn did a live stream. Again, all of this is live streams. Where she finally addresses the leaked voice note that Rachel leaked, apparently without Emily's consent. And everything she says regarding it is basically everything she has said over and over and over again regarding her relationship with Emily up to this point. And so I'm just not gonna put anything here because she says the same shit. Yeah, it was basically like how like people are just gonna believe what they want to believe because everybody wants to believe she's the villain and blah 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 blah. And this, my dear viewers, as far as I know, and I very well could have missed some things, okay, in this. And I know I feel like I kind of speed ran November, but I will probably talk more about November, December, January, and February when I do the video on Amberlynn getting demonetized and what she did with her content after that. But this is where Amberlynn Reid got demonetized and then privated all of her content or deleted all of it. I'm not entirely sure. For violating terms of service. And I made a video about this after it happened. And so again, that will be linked down below. Like I've mentioned a million times, after she got demonetized, this led to her eventually joining Keemstar in his lolcow universe video live streams. And I will cover that in another video.
Everybody already knows, but I don't want to talk about it.
So that, my friends, is what you missed in Gorlworld in 2025. I am absolutely positive I missed some things here, even with the honorable mentions that I did in the first video. I know I missed some shit, okay? But I am just one girl who does all of her own research and all of her own editing and all of her own... This video made me realize that sometimes I should hire a researcher or an editor just for certain videos like this, because holy shit. I wanted to get these out before this week because in Amberlynn Reed's most actually wild freakout in the lol cow universe, she says with a lot of confidence that she is getting her channel back on the 17th. I don't think she has a way of confirming this either way, but she thinks she's getting it back. And so I wanted to get this out before she supposedly gets her channel back. And that's all I have to say about that. Thank you to Helix for sponsoring this part of this video. And I'm so tired and I have to edit this now. And so I'm gonna go and leave an emoji down below. I don't care at this point. I don't care. I don't know. So just leave whatever your heart tells you to leave down below, okay? And I'm gonna go. And remember to be kind to yourself and do all of the other things that I usually tell you at the end of my videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Anyways, I'm gonna go. Bye.